he believes that he is working with the system and the whole corruption is system supported. If not, it is abnormal. If I were the Speaker of the House of Representatives, I would have summoned him for that, for using that language on the House of Representatives, on the resolution of the
He's entitled to his opinion. If anybody feels strongly, go to court. No. Why do we have the courts?
But at the same time, they have the powers of someone.
Yeah, but even if
they have the powers of someone.
Why do we
let him now go to court?
Why do we have the courts here? Because anybody can say anything. But if you
everybody cannot say anything.
That's why we have the rule of law.
There are things you and I will say here, and before the end of this program, I will be accosted by that gate.
In terms of their opinion here,
yes.
I remember if you go against somebody's rights, if you go to court, you challenge.
Anyway, this should not kill. This should not kill the whole essence of the probe. There are recommendations and resolutions of the House on this probe issue. Unfortunately, Farouk soiled his hand. Farouk dined with the devil. Farouk was too greedy. Democracy is supposed to be government of the people, by the people and for the people, but he saw it as government of the greedy, by the greedy and for the greedy.
No, he didn't act alone.
And the truth of the matter, say again.
Did he act alone?
I actually don't have the celestial powers to read people's mind. I won't know.
But you were in the House, you know how it works on the floor.
Yeah, but I'm saying on this particular issue, I can't say what I don't know. But as far as I'm concerned, Farouk Lawan, last Monday, I saw the interview. They asked him 3 times, did you collect any money? He said, I did not take bribe. Did you collect any money? He said, I did not take bribe. The 3rd time, did you collect any money? He said, I did not take bribe. And I likened it on my program I had in Abuja. I likened it to what happened between Jesus Christ and Adam. When God said, Adam, where are you? Are you in Gokomaiko or are you in Ajegunle? Adam, where are you? He said, God, I am naked. So, if you said that under 24 hours and you are coming back to tell Nigerians that, yes, actually, I took this money. And Femi Otedola's house is not an extension of the National Assembly.
You know what I pick from all of this you just highlighted is the hallowedness or the hallow of the House of Reps that you have refused to say is broken, which is very key here. You say, well, the leadership is on course, and you still say, well, people should not be flippant with words to describe what these representatives are doing there. So how can we differentiate?
I'm not saying that. I can challenge the authority of the House of Reps, and I can challenge their resolutions. But I'm saying using the word laughable to describe the resolution of the entire representatives of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is demeaning. He could use languages like, I disagree with their resolution. He can even say, I will charge them to court for including the name of, but to say laughable, he said that with the arrogance.
Do you have any idea?
That arrogance, I want to tell you, as just like he said that no, there's a language he used on the House of Representatives that inclusion of the name of Xenon Oil and blah 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 is a celebration of corruption. I will also say that his arrogance is also a celebration of a cartel of a system supported corruption. Because the truth of the matter is that you say you were pulling a string. Why didn't you arrest Farouk when he was leaving your house? Why didn't you arrest Farouk at the point when he was leaving your house?
You know, another question.
You know that there's an afterthought here. Both Farouk and Otedola, they are both guilty.
Mr. Melaye,
unfortunately, Farouk has brought shame to the dignity of the National Assembly. I saw a cartoon. Maybe I should humorously, share that. I saw a cartoon and it's painful to an institution that I belong. A mother was accusing the child, you are always stealing, you are always stealing. If you don't stop stealing, do you know where this stealing will take you to? The boy said, yes, sir. Yes, mommy, I know. The mother said, where? He said, National Assembly. This, if not because of negativities and satanic manifestations of people like Farouk Lawan. When we were fighting corruption in the house, Farouk was at the vanguard of fighting us. When we were having a taste issue, he went right and said, today, we now know who actually have integrity.
That's why Chamberlain was asking you so that you can tell us exactly how it works there. I remember then vividly we had 2 groups, the integrity and progressives. You were of the progressives. Yeah. So what progressives, integrity, and at the end of the day, we really don't even know which.
The truth of the matter is that we are yet to dent the image of the progressives. No progressive member, understand, there's a new version to it now for few that have watched the movie. It's a movie actually, and I think African Magic should show it.
You used to have members of your progressive
very well
in the house.
Very well.
And
very well.
What are they saying about
Beatrice
this?
Kaze is there. A number of them are there, and they are still very upright. They are still very, very upright. And you can see it's funny that if it's true that some dollar here, dollar in the cap, and that's now cap banking. It's a new innovation, you know. So honestly speaking, we should look at this beyond the issue of the National Assembly.
You know,
we should look at it. We should look at it, like I said, as a systemic problem.
Mr. Melaye, you know, initially when you're talking about probes and, you know, oversight functions, you said that if the National Assembly carries out its oversight functions properly, you know, there might be no need for probes. In fact, there will be no need for probes. Yes. Do you also recall that, you know, the Senate has started a probe into investigating how subsidy money was spent before the protest, or even before before the price of fuel was increased? And would you categorize that as being, you know, up and doing in their duties?
The truth of the matter is that I did not use the word House of Reps. I said National Assembly.
Yes, I know.
And it's Senate inclusive.
Yes.
If proper oversight function is carried out in both houses. I'm sorry, I belong to the House of Reps, but I'm one of those who believe that Nigeria is not ripe for a bicameral legislature.
Why?
Because of these duplications. Because of these duplications, because of the costs, because of its reputation of responsibility as far as I'm concerned. So the truth of the matter is this. Yes, Farouk Lawan committed a crime. Let that crime be tackled like every other Nigerian that got himself involved in criminality and crime. But that report, we want to see the federal government show some biting.
You still believe in that report?
Very well. It's not Farouk Lawan's resolution. It's not the committee's resolution. I have a representative, you've got a representative there. So it is a resolution of the House of Representatives of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
What role did the courts play here? Because they haven't talked about that.
Courts?
Yeah.
Courts how?
Because if you say the federal government should show some biting, and the AGF has said, based on the recommendations of the House of Reps,
my brother,
you can't prosecute based on that, and from the point of law, you know.
Agreed. They've given it to the anti-corruption agencies. But I'm telling you that we are Nigerians and we know what is happening in this country.
How?
If the president is sincere in fighting corruption, we want to see more action than words.
Is he supposed to play the role of the EFCC too?
It's not to play the role of the EFCC, but it can influence action.
Why should he influence the EFCC?
Well, we want him
not influenced by telling them what to do.
How?
But as the president, he can give time frame. As president, we know what is happening, and it's difficult. The president actually, his hands are tied. It's difficult for him because these cartels, they are the ones who sponsored him to power. PDP fundraising dinner for the president, $10 $1 billion. Dangote, $1 billion. Yeah, this one giving presidential aircraft.
When you were in politics, didn't you have people sponsor you when you were in politics too?
Yeah, but if you are going to be sponsored, you are not to be sponsored by those who give billions of naira only to reap the public. You
wouldn't know.
But it's happening now. We are saying it.
Which politician?
The waivers.
Which politician in this country has refused any money?
The waivers that we get. That Dangote will get. The waiver that Otunba will get. Look at what happened, the transformation of AP to 40s. We know all that happened there. But what we are saying is that it will be difficult for Mr. President to fight his sponsors. They will remind him, man, while I will do during that election.
Even all political parties.
So we are saying, but I'm saying that in a way and manner, in America it's not possible.
Well,
for one single Nigerian to give you 10 billion, or to give you 5 billion, or to give you 2 billion, where do you expect them to get back that money? They are going to get it back through subsidy on kerosene, through subsidy on petrol, through waivers, port waivers. That is most times
Mr. Melaye, yes. I'm sure you are also aware that the same allegation is also heaped on the doorstep of your political party. That while there are some construction firms that some other governors have given contracts because it's well, alleged that some big people in your party also were their sponsors.
I'm happy you use the word alleged. Let them prove it.
Or even what you say.
Let them prove it. Let them prove it.
Can you also prove yours?
Yes, I can prove that Dangote got a waiver of over 500 billion in 4 years. I can prove it. I can prove also that Otedola, through subsidy, understand, has benefited and reaped Nigerians. And what Nigerians are doing now is that they are now using us to subsidize the international jet-setting lifestyle of the elites.
So why don't you submit this to the House of Reps?
If there's a public hearing now, I will go there.
But they had one all this while.
Look, I made a submission. If contact Farouk Lawan if I did not call him on phone.
On phone?
I called him on phone and I talked to him. And I told him this is an opportunity for you.
Why didn't he invite you?
To make a name.
Why didn't he invite you to come and testify?
Eventually he did not. I told him, I even indicated my interest. Call him, let him swear by the Holy Quran that I did not indicate my interest to come, that he should please invite me to come and make a presentation, because I made a research in the oil sector and I found out I did my own findings, which I published in the full page editorial in This Day and Leadership newspaper.
You know, you said certain things cannot happen. Let's not forget that these people whose names you've mentioned have provided employment for many Nigerians. They are the captains of industry, the people who have helped in the industrialization. And let's face it, because, I mean, when we set up, say, a cement factory, for God's sake, we know how many people that is going to employ. We know how many people is going to take off the streets. We know how many other companies could come up as a result of that.
That's democratization of looting. You can still invest in this country, do business legitimately in this country, and benefit without today.
How do you differentiate? Mr. Melaye, how do we differentiate government support for industries from, supporting your cronies and friends? How do we do that?
For example, let me put it this way: government should have a uniform. Listen, uniform support for industries or industrialization or for investors, as the case may be.
What do you mean uniform?
Uniform in the sense that it should be a policy thing. It should not be individualized.
Okay.
Are you telling me today that the favor that Otedola is getting from government, the support is getting from government, other operators in the same oil industry get the same?
No, well, if government waives, say, maybe tax or custom duties on certain products
in a civilized country,
I'm not sure that when the government does that, they say it's only for this company. Anybody else bringing in that,
no, it's not true.
Product.
It's not true. My sister, in a civilized country, the transformation of AP to Fortis, the killing of a particular bank as a result of the activities of African Petroleum. By today, Otedola should be in prison.
Yeah, but I think we should also...
But because there is a satanic alliance...
No, just a moment. I think we should also point out the fact that, I mean, we can't make blanket statement that everybody is corrupt, this is corrupt.
I'm not saying everybody is corrupt.
There's a rule of law.
I'm not saying everybody is corrupt.
If anybody feels strongly about anything and they've got documents, all the more reason why they will...
We are going to come up with them. So as I speak to you right now, I am putting up a document on this whole matter, and I'm taking it to the EFCC, and I'm going to publish it.
So until they investigate...
What we are saying is that, yes, fine. But the truth of the matter is very simple. That government must decide the whole essence of insecurity in the country. We saw what you people were showing not too long ago. Now, the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, I have discovered and I put together, has given the highest number of condolence messages south of the Sahara, north of the Limpopo in the history of mankind.
You think he's happy?
And I'm speaking to you. As I'm speaking to you,
doing that?
I'm coming. As I'm speaking to you, okay, what is he doing about it? My brother, if you have a football team that they've gone on 11 matches, and in all these 11 matches, they were defeated, and the coach still refused to substitute any of the players.
I don't think that it's as simplistic as that.
No. The security system of this country.
We know.
I'm coming. Let me be very plain with you. The president privatized, individualized, personalized the security of this country. When he became president of this country and took his own brother, his own uncle, his own kinsman as the NSA, and took his personal friend as Inspector General of Police, this is what you should expect.
So are you telling
And
me
now that they have proven to be incapacitated, now that they have proven not to have the capacity to provide security for this, we expect that there should be a reshufflement. Look for people who can deliver, who can give the job.
Mr. Melaye, it was just a couple of months ago that Hafiz Ringim was replaced as Inspector General of Police. Let's not forget that.
I am telling you that,
and let's not
all these
also
programs
forget,
are foundational.
Hold on.
If you allow them to build and build and build, now fighting them becomes a problem.
Mr. Melaye, let's not also forget that every time the security agencies make a win, they will not come on the front pages of newspapers. In fact, it will be uncelebrated.
Every time I read, we arrested 5 Boko Haram, we have killed 10 Boko Haram.
Yes, the peace and the lull in activities that we will notice will be rubbished by just one particular attack.
Yes,
with just one attack. That's all we need.
Let me ask you, my sister.
If today they secure Jos, next week it could be Kaduna.
My sister.
How do we help security agencies in this matter?
Today in this country, over 1 trillion budgeted and voted for security. We have seen Operation Zaki, Operation Lion, Operation this, Operation that. All this put together has only resulted into an outrageous calamitous situation. No, as far as I'm concerned, more killings. This Sunday now, you hear this. Next Sunday, you're already expecting another. And you know that I made the research.
If you were in PDP, you won't be saying what.
I will say this. I was a member of the PDP when I moved the motion. When I moved the motion against the president, the then sitting president of this country, Yar'Adua. As a sitting president, I moved the motion against him. I was a member of the PDP when I fought Bankole, and the National Executive Council of the PDP called me to withdraw the case, and I refused. I was a member of the PDP when I moved the motion on the runway contract, that PDP people were the beneficiaries. I was a member of the PDP when I moved the motion on the Kubwa Abuja Expressway, where 100 billion was recovered. I was a member of the PDP. And I was a member of the PDP when I moved motions even against the federal government when they borrowed $300 billion from the World Bank.
So is it right to just, now categorize everybody in the PDP as being corrupt?
I'm not saying, I've not used the word everybody. Definitely you will still find some very few, when I mean few, very, very few PDP people that think straight, that are upright, but maybe they are not speaking out. But what I'm saying is not a matter of party. It's not a party issue. It is an ineptitude, in leadership. It's incapacitation in leadership. It's a lackadaisical way with which my own president is taking issues of security. You just come every day and give condolence messages, and we cannot see any tangible, effective security network that will combat the Boko Haram.
But you talk as if
we have our brothers and sisters dying on daily basis.
Yeah, but you talk as if
the president is actually behaving as if he has no legacy intentions.
Can I ask a question? Do you
I think we've taken it off the assembly matter?
Yes.
Looks like you just want to talk about
security. Yes, but Sulaiman, just permit me one question. Mr. Melaye, just one question. Do you think that terrorism is something that can actually come to an end? Because we've heard from the countries who have been battling it for over 12 years now, that when you start fighting terrorism, it's a continuous process. There will be no lull in it.
It's not true.
It's not true. It's something you think can be uprooted.
Obasanjo is not a saint.
All right, guys.
But when Sharia started, when the Kaduna riot started, what happened in Odi, what happened in Zakibia, the effectiveness with which the president combated the issue, the seriousness and doggedness. In fact, I want to tell you as I speak to you, the number of policemen and mobile policemen, soldiers that were rolled out against Nigerians during the subsidy crisis, we are yet to see them on the street against Boko Haram. If Nigeria can conduct census all over the country in 5 days, what does it take the president to declare a state of emergency in Kano, in Borno, in Taraba, exercise, ask all civilians to move out and level the place once and for all? But because there's no capacity, because there's no sincerity of purpose, President said it himself. President said
you can't do that.
He said he's eating with Boko Haram, that Boko Haram are in his government, the NSA, but nothing has happened.
Mr. Dino Melaye, former member of the House of Reps, and now.
But they should be prepared because we will not take it. We are going to take over issues ourselves. We are going to save this country by ourselves.
But remember, you have to do it according to
within the context of the law. Sure, we are not going to carry arms and ammunition. We are not going to carry. In fact, we are going to fight it, including with anointing oil. We will fight this one.
Thank you for coming on this morning.
Thank you
back
very much.
after this.